So I saw this clip rolling around on the internet a lot yesterday, like a whole lot. I didn't watch Destiny's stream. It was like a short stream that is he in Sweden now? I forget. I don't know, but he's been streaming a little bit from like some offsite somewhere in like Britbonger land. I don't know. And this clip was rolling around. It flew all through lefty Twitter with great neck speed, just Mach 5 Roadrunner, just zooming through the streets. I every single person who's left wing that I followed retweeted this. And it was pretty bad. So we can get into it. Destiny hit us with another, I'm quite sure, cringe clip. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm partial to Destiny. I got my political start through Destiny online. So I am a little tiny bit Destiny simp. Not as much as some people I know, but I appreciate a lot of what Destiny has done. That does not mean that he's free from criticism, but just letting you know what I am.
Rioting shit might be the worst fucking shit that could happen in American history, because it's the only possible path right now that Trump has to victory. These fucking dipshits that are out here torching neighborhoods for fucking days and days and weeks on end are literally I think public opinion of BLM has shifted between white voters like 25 fucking points in the past 2 months. The idea that a bunch of self-righteous dipshits out on the street setting fire to fucking cars,
like up to like 62% approve of like BLM's aims.
I'm pretty sure that it went from like 62% approval in white voters to like 37. I retweeted there was a thing like a few days ago.
I haven't looked into it recently, so you might be
sure. This might be specifically in Wisconsin, but like the rioting needs to fucking stop. And if that means like white redneck fucking militia dudes out there mowing down dipshit protesters that think that they can torch buildings at 10 p.m., then at this point they have my fucking blessing, because holy shit, this fucking shit needs to stop. It needed to stop a long time ago. Like holy fuck.
You think those white rednecks need to be out there mowing down protesters?
I think that the only possible path that Trump has to victory right now are people out there rioting and burning down neighborhoods.
Okay, so let's okay, quite, like I said, the very sizzly, extremely spicy. That is up there with the ghost pepper in Scoville units. Extremely hot take. Nuclear radiation. While I was watching the video, I had to pause it there because I could feel the cancer cells growing on my back. I am going to take the most charitable, the most Simpson-y take that I can hear from what he's trying to say. All right. So what he's trying to say is the most charitable take that I could ascribe to Destiny here would be that he's saying, hey, this rioting is bad. It gives the Republicans a lot of ammunition. It could lead to him being able to strengthen a lot of his base in Michigan, and it's not good, and it needs to stop. And if the police aren't gonna do it, and if the lefty brigade or whatever says that the police or whatever are bad, then it should be. Then I don't see why this militia group shouldn't step in and do something. Okay, that's one thing. Hello, Lord Buckethead. So that's the most charitable take that I could possibly ascribe to Destiny. All right, in this very moment. You see our dear person? Don't worry. We'll get to her in just a second. She's after this. What'd you say? Fuck it, this shit actually makes me want to become a centrist because I don't know how many people are actually stupid. Very interesting. Okay. So that's the most charitable take that I could ascribe to Destiny there. What I believe is that when talking to lefties, Destiny goes fucking crazy. Destiny goes insane. Destiny's going insane when he's talking to lefties. When he was talking to Vosh, he just like would ascribe everything to white, simple left. You only care about being the most egregious. You only care about your being as lefty as possible. You don't care about any facts or anything. You stupid lefty, homo, or whatever, just crazy shit, right? Destiny, you're gay too. Super sick. I'm glad you're gay. I hope you have fun. With all that being said, I do not agree with this take. I do not think the militia people should be there. Our intelligence agencies, the DOJ, is advising it against local police stations from letting the militia groups act with impunity because they're unaccountable to the people. You cannot track them. It's hard enough to follow what police are doing out there. Like in so many districts, police don't even have to report when they pull their gun out and then hold it up against someone. They don't even have to report when they hold someone at gunpoint. And you think that these militia people will? Like these random ragtag goons who are hopped up on Monster Energy and played too much COD, roll out with their guns to go protect your local ice creamery, your local like hockey rink. You really think those guys are the people who should be out there enforcing the law? Really? Like it's just ridiculous, right? And I don't know, maybe he just thinks that all lefties think that the police are bad or something. If he's gonna start going on a couple of clips and be like, no such thing as playing too much COD, we'll get to that. Listen, one round of COD is too much COD. I don't know if he's gonna start going on like a rampage and being like, a lefty is bleeding out. He just got stabbed through the jugular by a MAGA hat wearing, boat toting, redneck, complete like lobster skin red from like the shoulder, from like the bicep down, but the rest is like pasty porcelain white. Just got stabbed through the neck with a katana, right? And then someone calls for the police, and Destiny's gonna be like, very ironic. You say a cab, but you call the police. You know, I would hate to see him do that. I have so much respect. I actually have a lot of respect for Destiny, but a lot of these takes have just been completely ridiculous. This is terrible. That is a terrible take. Even with the massive mounds of hyperbole that he just dropped on it, me like digging through to find his like just anything of value there is just always wrong. You cannot have these militia groups running around doing these things. It's always going to end badly. The one of the dudes in the militia specifically said that the police pushed the protesters towards them. The police instigated problems between the militia group and the protesters and then just left. Like you saw when Kyle was like running away from the people like trying to stop him. The police were just kind of sitting there. They didn't go help anybody. They weren't doing anything. They were just sitting there in the line waiting for him to gun everybody down or for them to kill him. One of the two. Or kill him or stop him or something. They weren't doing anything. And so these militia groups move in, right? And they move in and they think they need to protect and serve or something. All right. End up gunning people down. The protesters are going to get more self-reliant without the police. You're gonna have more people going around with guns, no police there, no monopoly on violence or anything. Everybody can just gun down whoever they want, and then obviously these shootings are going to happen. It's going to get even worse. That, and on top of his chief position is that this is going to lead to like Trump being able to parlay this into a electoral college victory. Is just not borne out in the data. It just isn't. Trump's even with the RNC harping on this over and over and over again. They bring like the McCaskills, the people in from that like GTA looking group, the husband and the son who were like holding guns at like protesters as they like walked by their house. Those guys, they brought those people out. They went hard on the culture war stuff, and people just didn't care. 67% of people who watched the RNC thought it was bad, compared to I think it was like 40% of people who watched the DNC thought it was bad. That on top of there's been no data to actually ascribe anything that's been happening in any of these riots linked to Biden, and I don't know, maybe even insinuating that Biden hasn't talked about this as much. It's just like all right-wing talking points. It's incredible to me. It just doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense out of Destiny. I know for a fact he's smarter than this. I have no clue what he's doing. I don't know why he's just letting himself get it's just embarrassing. I'm not talking about my personal preferences about the DNC. I'm talking about polling data. And polling data says 60% plus people thought the DNC was cool. I don't know if you know this, but we live in a pretty center-right country, or even further right country if you're talking to anybody else. We live in a pretty right-wing country. Most people thought that the DNC was fine. Most people thought that the RNC was bad. That's just a fact. Most people don't think that the riots or the protests have anything to do with Biden, and it's not showing up in the polling. There's been no polling that says There's been no polling to say that the riots have anything to do with a decline in polling in the average polling data for Biden. Okay, so that's what we have right now. This is just terrible, horrible take from Destiny, and incredibly spicy for literally no reason, and it's not good. You're gonna be taking the edgy route and making a manifesto? All right. Listen, like I said, I respect Destiny, but that's just not, it's just factually not a good take. It just factually doesn't make any sense. To say that like the militia groups need to go in, the police just need to be doing their job. I don't care what like weirdo online lefty says the police shouldn't be doing anything or whatever, or some weirdo like 300 follower Twitter account thinks that the police shouldn't be doing anything or we should be all supporting the riots. I don't know. I don't care what they think. I genuinely don't. I care what the researchers have to think. I care what criminal experts have to think. I care about what these people have to think, not what any like weirdo lefty or even honestly Destiny at this point, what he has to say on this. And all of this says that the militias shouldn't be there. The police should be doing their job because they're not. They shouldn't be working with these militia people. And this is just like just a bad take. I've seen no if anybody has any information to show me that the riots have anything to do with any loss in polling averages for Biden, then I'd be happy to see it. But in all of my research going over it, I have absolutely not seen that whatsoever. And it's just conjecture from someone who feels bad about it. The rioting does need to stop. It shouldn't happen. I've condemned rioting all the time. If you want to go against like a public building, sure, Godspeed, my dude. But if you want to blow up like some tiny mom and pop shop, that's horrible. Don't do that. They haven't done anything. You're destroying your community. But also the government should be stepping in to reimburse these people to help them be able to build back up. The government's not doing anything either. The government in terms of the police stopping it are not doing anything, and the government in terms of helping these people build up their businesses after they've had like their windows or whatever kicked in is not helping either. So in all fronts, this is just failure. And obviously those rioters shouldn't be out there, but I think it's much harder to protest against rioting than anything else.